Over the course of the past 15 weeks, I have learned many different strategies and tools to use when giving a speech, and I want to reflect back on my informational speech that I did a few weeks ago. In my speech, I discussed a lot on different techniques that you can use to have healthy singing and all of the different muscles that you use in your face when you are singing, and I talked a lot about ways to go forward and using those muscles. Now, the most difficult part of my speech is definitely gathering my information and using sources. Due to the fact that I take voice lessons, it was easy for me to come up with the information because I was just taught this over the course of the past 2 years. However, I was not able to cite it from my lesson teacher because you cannot cite things from people. So I had a little bit of a hard time gathering the information online, solely because I already knew the information and didn't want to do it. And it was a longer process than I expected because a lot of the things that I wanted to talk about were actually pretty difficult to find, and I had to look through multiple different sources to be able to find graphics that I wanted. For example, I used a picture with a skull on it showing you the different muscular features in the face, and I needed to find a picture that not only showed the nasal cavities opening, but also showed the back of the throat opening with the larynx dropped all the way down to the bottom of your throat. And it was very difficult to be able to find a picture that captured all of those in one because I needed to talk about them at the same time. Another issue I had was in my informational speech when I was showing another graphic of how showing difficult music can look intimidating. It was difficult to find music to show that would look intimidating but was not over the top. Something that I think I did well in this speech is I took my time explaining all of the different mechanisms that you use when you are singing, and I gave examples such as I had everybody flare their nostrils to show that would raise their or drop their larynx and raise their soft palate. And I did a good job explaining what all of those different muscles were that they were using and showed people how they are able to tap into them, such as flaring your nostrils or raising your soft palate will make you yawn, which makes you tap into that deep and rich speaking voice that you use when you sing. So I believe that that was a strong suit of mine, being able to show people and actually have people participate in the speech and have people try it out for themselves, because not only did that set a solid foundation of credibility by showing that I know what I'm talking about and it works because people were able to try it out for themselves, but it also got people engaged. It prevented people from zoning out because they had to be actively participating, and it was intriguing from what I've heard back. Another thing along those lines that I did was I had people try to hum while plugging their nose, which obviously did not work. The reason I did that was because I wanted to show that you need to use your nasal cavities while singing. And again, I was able to engage people, and it was a good hook to start out with because the very first thing I did was have people participate rather than just listening to what I had to say. They were able to engage both visually and aurally and kinesthetically, which was a large benefit to myself.